Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. This is Let's Play How to Date a Magical Girl. Double check volume. Yep, there we go. The mood in the academy corridors is somewhat somber this morning. At first I think that it's just the end of summer blues hanging there, but I start to overhear whispers of my fellow students. The murderer is definitely a student here. Of course, how else could they stay hidden? Do the Cult of Nine members really attend class here? All of the hushed conversations are the same. Everyone is gossiping about the Cult of Nine. I guess I left the pain and the murders behind when the summer vacation started. Now that I'm back here, the memories come flooding back. The two murdered girls, Satomi's thesis about the culprit being the Cult of Nine. And now it would seem all the students are convinced the cultists attend the academy. Oh, good morning, Lunar D8. Don't tell me you're actually a member of the Cult of Nine. Let me guess, both you and Noriko are sisters, and you're both members of the cult. What? How about this? All the teachers are members of the Cult of Nine. How about that? The entire school faculty. At which point, you guys are basically chefs and we're the hors d'oeuvres. It's like the first time. It's not only like probably the only time anyone's considered me a snack, and it's not in good context. Fuck. And not in the good way. So I just played a game about a peanut butter sandwich, but all the sound effects were just the sounds, of the developer of the game furiously masturbating. So, yeah, that was odd. And then before that, it was a game about, hey, it's a mannequin. But I'm like just imagining, what if it was like Luna from, Has-Been Hotel, but naked and giant tits and futa. Okay, now that I've made everyone uncomfortable and no one has stayed around for this video, I was very clear when I said I alienate everyone. I am a horrible person. Let me list off my horrible sins. 1, I can't ride a bicycle. I have a terrible sense of balance. Also, I don't like marmalade. I mean, I'll eat it sometimes. I don't like marmalade. It's that like jelly made of oranges. I don't like marmalade. Okay, back to the game. Sorry, that was silly of me to sneak up on you. How was your vacation? Fine, I guess. Everyone is talking about the Cult of Nine. What's going on? Well, it would seem that the current rumor is the cultists are students here. But of course, that's complete nonsense because it's all the teachers! And the writer of Cutie Star. Yeah, I remember the name of the thing. Do we know that for sure? I suppose not, but the perpetrator is more likely a teacher than a student. What makes you say that? Well, there was the demon summoning, not an easy feat to pull off, let me assure you. And the murdered girls both had the magical energy drain, which again is not an easy accomplishment. I just doubt that any of the other students are skilled enough to pull off such a difficult techniques. Maybe it's Akari's mom. Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you or anything. Anyway, it's time for class. Come along. Then again, I'm still supposing that all of this is in my imagination, and that none of these girls are real, and I'm just in a coma. At which point, not a bad coma. I mean, this is certainly a very lovely sight to see. Type in the comments out of all the girls, which one you think is more your type. It could be any of them. Heck, it could even be Shen. Or Stein. Or whatever. It could be that skyscraper in the background. Trying to think of the oddest thing I've seen so far. I swear the waitresses are all the same person, just working different things. And of course we have that little thing going on with Like we have the murders, which are reminiscent of Corpse Party, or Higurashi, or Elfin Lied. But then we have the thing with the debate club members that's very reminiscent of Doki Doki Literature Club. So who's to say what the hell is happening? But hey, at least we have good company here for it. Well, I mean, I do. I have the cute girls. You guys have to put up with me. So, then again, like I said, after this intro that I did today, why would you still be listening to the video? It's me. It's like it can't. I mean, if you are here and you are enjoying it, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I hope you do. But yeah, I just do random bullshit. I would say it's what I do best, but that would denote that it's good in some way. Yo! It's time to duel. I can't do that right. You guys ever watch the YouTube channel Solid JJ or Jet? Jet did some Sonic cartoons. Heck, there's the Devil Artemis dude who does like the Perfect Cell and Kermit stuff. Look at a picture of Kermit the Frog crying in a fucking bathtub and Vegeta standing in the rain. Tell me that ain't the same person. Then again, tell me Ted Bear for Cyanide and Happiness, as well as the Bleach abridged version of Aizen Sosuke of Bleach, but the abridged one. Tell me those two aren't the same person. Same goddamn voice, too. I forget what we're talking about. All I know is... Oh, there's also Berserk HBI 2K. Great one. We'll say this. If you haven't watched the initial anime of Berserk, you should watch that first, because otherwise HBI 2K will spoil the story for you. But I will say HBI 2K, mainly known for Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, did a good job. Then, of course, Team 4-Star, but there's also Gozar, alternate reality Dragon Ball Z, where it's like, it's just one dude doing terrible voice acting, and it's like, it's just like Team 4-Star, but someone like injected tons of ADHD and autism. It's still good, it's just very chaotic. It's something I like, but that's not saying a lot. Like, I mean, I suggest listening to the band Perfect Circle, 13 Step Habit. Okay, everyone's like, play the game! Hello. Hey, how have you two been hearing all the rumors? Of course, it's impossible not to hear them. I think it's ridiculous thought that the cultists are students here. Me too. Still, having said that, I do think that the murderer must have ties to the school in some way. Yeah, Satomi seems to think it's more likely to be a teacher. She said that? Yeah, I was taken aback. A teacher, huh? Huh. Hey guys, I'm gonna go check on something. Don't wait for me, okay? Okay. Ray takes off all of a sudden. She bounces down the stairs and disappears. What? She didn't even finish her lunch. Does she know something? Ray? I don't think so. Who knows what that girl is thinking sometimes. Wonder where she went. Sometimes she goes to the field to run laps, though that's usually when she's having difficulty in class. The field, huh? You mind if I go check up on her? Be my guest, but tell her not to be late for our next class, okay? Gotcha. I walk over to the field. Sure enough, in the distance I see a tall figure that looks like Ray, though she's not running laps, and she's not alone. I creep around the perimeter of the field and get a closer look. Ray looks pretty agitated. She seems to be arguing with the other person, but I can't make out who it is. I'm not quite close enough to hear the conversation. If I go any further, I might get caught, and that would just be embarrassing. After a short while, Ray seems to calm down a bit. She stops flailing her arms. The other person bows, then hurries away. Oh crap, the person is coming this way. I duck away from the fence and pretend I'm using the field to practice my magic. I mumbled some nonsense spell words under breath and pretend I'm focusing. Someone bumps into me, and my imaginary concentration is broken. Oh, sorry, Lunar. I was hurrying. I didn't see you there. Oh, Miss Yoshida, my bad. I was in the way here. No, don't worry about it. Sorry, I'm a little flustered. I need to watch where I'm going. Miss Yoshida must have been who I saw arguing with Ray. Are you okay? Did something happen? Oh, yes, I'm fine. But I must be going. Please, keep up your practice. Miss Yoshida hurries off. How bizarre. I look back over to Ray and notice she's also heading this way. She seems to have already seen me because she gives me a small wave. Hey, what you doing? I was worried. I was practicing my transformation. Mio said that I really need to master it. Man, tell me about it. Mimi is always on my back telling me to practice. Say, Ray, were you just with Miss Yoshida? Miss Yoshida? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were chatting. I see. You hurried off from lunch before even finishing eating. I thought something might be wrong. Nah, nothing is wrong. I guess I can tell you since you're my friend. Aya is my aunt. Oh, you're related. Okay. What, Miss Yoshida is your aunt? Yep, I don't tell many people because I don't want people thinking I get special treatment during class. I never would have guessed you two are related. Yeah, not many people do. Ray, were you arguing with her? Maybe a little. See, there's these rumors going around about cult members being students here. Everything's murderers among us, yeah? And Aya, let's just say she knows some people. People that might or might not have connections to Cult of Nine. I asked her last term to ask around and find out what the hell the cult is targeting our school. And I guess I get kind of ticked off because her connections won't share any info. The whole school is scared that there's going to be another murder, which there probably will be, like a dozen. And I don't want to just sit in on our butts and wait for it to happen. Ray, it's okay. I probably overreacted and yelled at her a little, even though she didn't deserve it. I'll apologize to her later, so don't worry. Alright, I understand. Though, you want to do what you can do to prevent another murder. Exactly, you get it? I can't always do much, but since I know about Aya's connections, I figured it was worth a go. You did the right thing. Teehee? Hey, we should go finish our lunch. I'm famished. The rest of the day goes smoothly. I'm kind of shocked that Miss Yoshida apparently has connections to Code 9. I wonder if Satomi knew that too. That could be how they came to the conclusion the cult is behind the murders. I don't exactly know why Miss Yoshida has those connections. She's such a sweet and innocent teacher. I guess it's not my place to ask. I'll say this, if we're in a coma and all this is happening, our mind is a dark place. If it's concocted this elaborate fucking story of all the teachers eating the students. You're gonna look out the door and see like Godzilla. The Gex trilogy is getting a remaster. That'll be interesting. I don't know if there's a rank past A or not. Talk to Mr. Steiner. Okay, nothing new. I thought maybe people would have something new. Study. I don't have a book, do I? I'll check the library at some point. Yui's room. Okay. Go to school. The school is filled with hushed rumors again today. The students whisper fearfully about the murderer being among us. Oh, it's among us! You guys ever play the game? Classes progress as normal. This is a nice bedroom. Eventually we're going to see all the girls' rooms. Technically a dorm room, but still. It's nice. Looks nice. Spend time with Yui. I would be a little concerned if the used ice cream salesman showed up trying to sell us ice cream. Not only is that already concerning, used ice cream salesman, but also, you know, we're in her bedroom. Alright, I was trying to give stuff to Miyu and then I forgot what I was doing. Turns out a vacation plus people dying's distracting. As usual, the hallways are abuzz with chatter. Students are quick to accuse each other of being strange or acting like cult member. The fear-mongering is reaching a critical point. There doesn't seem to be any trust left in the school. Hey, with Yui. Slightly used ice cream! In a library at the school. Yui jumps at the opportunity. I have to interview to tell her not a good idea. Oh, today. Good to know. Go on date. Lunar, can you come with me? I need to talk to you. Oh, what's wrong? You're acting very shy. It's important. I can't say no to you. Yui, where are we headed? I follow Yui, all the while wondering where it could possibly have acting so shy again. She won't even talk to me along the way. Finally, we arrive deep in the forest, and she turns to me. What is it, Yui? You know you can talk to me about anything, right? You know what? But I can't hide it anymore. Little by little, you've opened Pandora's box. I can't hide it like I used to. I'm a little taken aback. Yui's never talked like this before. She seems a little manic. What's going on? What can't you hide anymore? My hatred for the whole world. Every last scummy human on this wretched planet. What is she talking about? Yui, this isn't like you at all. This is exactly like me. This isn't me I've been hiding for so long. But don't worry. You, Lunar, you are the only one I don't hate. You are pure. We have other friends. You don't hate them, do you? I also have a dog. He's cool, right? I don't understand. Why do you hate the world so much? I'll tell you why. Love is the reason I hate that. I feel like I'm missing context. I've spent my entire life being teased and tortured by my peers. I mean, honestly, that's very relatable, but I don't hate the world for it. Then again, I'm the world's worst supervillain. It's like, oh, what do you do? Well, I don't hurt anyone, I just annoy everyone very, very much. And then I just talk to Batman about my feelings. And then we get Dairy Queen. It's like, worst supervillain ever. You can defeat me with hugs and positive reinforcement. In high school, students would call me fat and ugly and useless. I was so lonely, so depressed. Yeah, like I said, I can relate. I got bullied a fucking shit ton. But I didn't hate anyone, not yet. The bullying continued day in, day out. I reached the end of my rope. I was pushed too far, so I did the only thing I think I could do. I found a quiet spot at school and prepared myself to drink the poison I had brewed at home. I was willing to end it all. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Shy, quiet, lovely Yui. Then he came along. He smiled at me and he talked to me and told me I should never die alone. I was a fool to listen to his sweet words. They were just another type of poison. We started dating after that. He was very popular at our school, and by default, I sort of became popular too. No one made fun of me. In fact, they started acting like my friends. Liars. It was like this for a few months, until exams started creeping up and I could tell he was being pressured to stay top of his class. I couldn't see the darkness stirring inside of him. I think some people would word that as seeing like someone having shadows in their eyes, but that's more so about people basically either not respecting you, thinking less of you, being disgusted by you, hating you, or just feeling like you're a failure. And especially if the basically just, yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. One night, while I was sleeping, he crept in my room through the window. I woke up to him, standing over me with a scary look in his eyes and a bottle in his hand. He told me it was finally time. Finally to finish it and die. Like Romeo and Juliet, forever bound together in death. Yeah, that's not emotionally healthy. That's... Dear God, he came to kill you? He wanted to commit suicide together, but at this point I no longer wanted to die. When I told him this, he just laughed and pulled me from the bed to the ground. I tried to scream, but he had his hand on my mouth. Yeah, this is not a happy situation. He popped the top of the bottle, and I could smell his poison, just like I had once brewed. He drank half the bottle, while he pinned me to the ground. He forced me to drink the other half, and waited with his hand over my mouth until I swallowed it all. Then he started to foam at the mouth, and could hold me down no longer. He collapsed, and all I could do was make one last frail scream before I blacked out. I can't believe Yui went through such a harrowing ordeal. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I woke up in the hospital several days later. The only reason I survived is because my parents found me and gave me a general antidote. And your boyfriend? Dead before my parents arrived. He must have consumed a little bit more poison than I did. Yui, what happened to you is truly horrible. I can't even comprehend it. But one stupid decision by one stupid boy couldn't have made you hate the entire world. You're right. Had that incident been the end of it, I probably would have recovered. There's more. Well, probably everyone blamed you for the kid's death. It used to be the mean kids at school who hated me, but now the whole town, save for my parents, thought I convinced him to participate in a double suicide. He was so loved in our town that no one would believe that he wanted to die. No one would hear my side of the story. And so everyone began to hate me. They tortured me and my parents, tried to burn down our shop, hit me when I went out in public. It became far too much to bear. But I knew that if I took the coward's way out and ended it all, I'd just come face to face with him in hell. And I couldn't bear the thought of ever seeing him again. This boy that ruined my entire life. So, you decided to move to the city to get away from it all? Yes. But things are still a mess, and people from the town still harass me. They send me hateful letters and dead animals in the mail. What the hell? Yui, I'm so sorry. Don't pity me. Never pity me. Okay. I'm just saying, yeah, part of me wants to pity, and part of me is just like, that's marveling at what assholes they are. I will rise above it all, and when I grow strong enough, they will all pay for this. Perhaps not nuke the hometown. We can move past that. I'll become a goddess and rid the world of its hatred. I can feel a cold chill all around me, so these are Yui's true feelings. She's still a sweet girl, I know, but she has so much anger inside of her. Reminds me of the band Smile Empty Soul. Mainly their first couple albums. I feel something pulling me close to her, something strong. I wrap my arms around her and hold her close to me. I can feel her flinch, but then she buries her head in my chest and weeps quietly. She is still so frail. I mean, some people do have a heart of glass. I am loving practical magic class so much ever since I learned to transform. Geez, rub it in, why don't you? Hehe. Go on, Lunar. Let Akari enjoy herself. Yeah. I wonder when we'll start to learn some combat magic. I don't even know if I'll be able to, since my powers revolve around healing, but it would be cool to try. And a lot of students have mastered their transformations, so surely we'll learn to fight any lesson now. Come to think of it, I think Lunar is the only one in the whole school that can't transform. God damn it! Can't transform yet. Yep, you're right. I've asked so many of our classmates if they can, and they all confirmed learned it last term. Okay, well, I guess at this point, the only way to fix this is for to have everyone in the entire school individually transform in front of me for entirely not lewd, pervy reasons of wanting to watch people transform into possibly skimpy outfits. Not just for educational purposes. You guys are great at making fun, making me feel like crap. Shouldn't class have started by now? Yeah, we're just waiting on Miss Yoshida, who is probably dead. Righto. I wonder if I should be honest with Miss Yoshida and tell her I've already mastered a lot of combat spells. You should. Maybe she'll make you demonstrate them to the class. Oh no, that would be too embarrassing. Yeah, it would be. Unless she's dead. Hey, since we're waiting around, Yui, do you think you could show me some of your spells, huh? I don't know. Please. Pretty please. Well, I would need some sort of target. Use Lunar no. I'm just gonna go home, okay? Hey, that might work, or something around that size. Oh, what about a ball? A basketball. Good idea. Don't we need that to play basketball with? I'd like to play the game. There's all sorts of sports equipment in the shed. Oh my god! Miss Yoshida's corpse is going to be in the shed, isn't it? Fucking hell! Why do I have to find all the dead bodies? Can I go to Dairy Queen instead? Lunar D8, go grab a basketball. Totally not, you know. Yeah, it's a video game. I shouldn't be dreading this, but I am. Why me? I know, right? Because otherwise you have no choice but to use your head as a target. Really? I understand you're joking, but still, please don't joke like that. Grr, fine, where's the shed? Where is the dead body? It's just over there on the edge of the field. See it? It's that thing that has red jelly. Strawberry jelly. Or Burger King ketchup packets leaking out of the fucking door. Also, the fact it's Ray's aunt, and like, oh right, that's your family member. She's dead. School trip to Dairy Queen? School trip to Dairy Queen. We're all getting ice cream. Lunar. Yeah? Stop being fat. I'm trying. I'm not doing a good job. And that's like 50 feet away. But yeah, I'm 5'11" and I'm 215 pounds. And even though I don't drink alcohol, I have a beer belly. Perhaps from all the Pepsi. Oh, just go. Fine. I begrudgingly stomp over to the shed. What am I even looking for? A basketball? Jeez, I'm sure we're not going to suddenly find the desecrated corpse of Miss Yoshida as we have a sudden music change to inflict the sudden change of emotional atmosphere. I'm sure that's not going to happen. Surely. Liam Neeson's like, not Neeson's. Not the guy from Qui-Gon, I mean. You know the dude from Naked Gun? The funny guy with the sense of humor, who was a funny actor. Is he still alive? If he is, he's certainly retired, but he made a lot of really funny movies. O.J. Simpson was in a lot of those too. What other movie was there? Like, there were several movies they wanted to cast O.J. Simpson in. Like, he was actually having good... But there was this one movie. Oh my god, what was it? Terminator! In the early versions of the Terminator movie, Cameron wanted to cast somebody he had worked with in the past as the Terminator, and other people were basically saying, other people. But here's the thing. He was, at one point, O.J. Simpson was also slated to be cast as the T-800 Terminator. but he was rejected for the task by James Cameron. Because James Cameron, the creator of the Terminator series, the movies, the Terminator movies, he didn't want James Cameron to be... he didn't want Arnold Schwarzenegger to be a Terminator at first either. Because he felt like the Terminator was supposed to be somebody that could blend into society. And just, there's no way you can have Arnold Schwarzenegger walk into a room and not have everyone just be like, what? Like, he's one of those people that just catches your attention. But it actually works in the scope of a movie. Now, in terms of sending somebody back in the past to kill people, yeah. It's not exactly, incognito. Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't exactly blend into a crowd. But it actually works for making a more amazing, more exciting movie. But before that, at one point, they were wanting to cast O.J. Simpson as the T-800 killer. But James Cameron rejected that idea because he was like... And also, he had overwhelming support of everyone else agreeing with him. Because everyone thought the idea of O.J. Simpson being a killer was the most unbelievable thing in the world. He took him and all of his fellow, people working. I was going to say producers, but I don't know what the people were. But basically him, the maker of the Terminator movies, and all the people working on the Terminator movies with him, they all looked at O.J. Simpson and they were like, yeah, nobody's ever going to take him seriously as a killer. No one's ever going to believe that O.J. Simpson would be a killer. That's just the most outlandish thing. Now, perhaps there could be some disagreements about that now. But I'm just saying in context of when they were casting him for a part, they just felt that it was too unbelievable, even for a movie, to cast O.J. Simpson as a killer. And yes, I'm just stalling. I don't want to go to the shed. Can somebody walk with me? Not Ray, though, because it's kind of a issue for her. Hey, Calry! Calry, you want to walk to the shed with me? How about I go to the convenience store? I'll get my friend Shin for no reason. So we can walk to the... I will walk 5 miles into town. And then 5 miles back with my friend. So that he can then walk these 50 feet with me. Into... this. Fuck. Kari must think she has me wrapped around her finger. I reach the shed. The door is ajar. So I push it open and walk in. I don't wanna. I don't want to. Hey, this reminds me of that scene from Chaos Head Noah. Miss Yoshida is crucified on the wall. None of this is through internal organs. She could still be alive. And the main thing that kills you in a crucifixion isn't, the blood loss. It's suffocation. Because the way you're propped up on the cross makes it where your chest diaphragm can't expand properly and you slowly suffocate. Though people can push themselves up with their feet to try to allow their chest to expand more, but that's why they eventually break your fucking shin bones with a sledgehammer. Though there are many prominent people throughout history who did not have their shins broken with a hammer. Like Jesus. It is said that Jesus Christ never broke a bone. He did, however, get stabbed in the fucking ribs with a spear. I'm just saying she might be alive. Especially since she's not in the air. So, maybe just a few calf raises here and there, and, and obviously there's some issues here. But, as long as we didn't hit any major arteries, let me get some smelling salts and I mean, this is a gym after all. I mean, you probably have some in a first aid locker somewhere, which will probably have additional things. I mean, I probably shouldn't use rubbing alcohol or iodine because that will probably sting a little bit. Maybe some hydrogen peroxide mixed half and half with water, be enough to kill the bacteria, and I can, just wrap some gauze around your arms. I mean, heck, one thing that really helps is if your arms are raised in the air, usually you can make it harder for the blood to pump in the direction of the bleeding extremities, which means you're going to bleed maybe just slightly less. So, I am ever so slightly trying to increase by a millionth of a percent the possibilities that you're not dead. Also, if this is a prank, this is in very poor taste. I don't appreciate it. So, if you could just open your eyes and tell me, haha, I got ya, and, we could have a laugh about this, and I can say you're kind of insensitive for pulling such a horrible prank, and you're not actually dead. So, could you do that? Could you just open your eyes and let me know this is all a prank? You're not actually dead. You just have a really bad sense of humor. That's... She's still there. Miss Yoshida is crucified on the wall. Or is she? Yeah. Ew. Is she dissolving? I didn't know we were in Evangelion. Miss Yoshida is crucified on the wall with more than a dozen bloody stakes piercing her flesh. By the way, this reminds me of that one death we encountered in Chaos Head Noah, a very good video game that took like 40 parts of me just making inappropriate jokes. We'll just throw the Tool Lateralis album on. Saturn ascends. And everyone's like, stop trying to pretend like everything's okay. And I'm like, if there's anything I'm good at, it's ignoring my physical and mental health, okay? If there's anything I'm good at, it's just, hey, it's like, oh, you feel sad. Let's listen to Nightcore music and cry. Or walk on a bike trail or get Dairy Queen. So... Now, the noises I think here, like, again, we're going with the coma idea that we're in a coma and this is all just a coma dream. The noises I'm hearing is the fact that my heart rate is going out of control from a reaction to this, and they're trying to stabilize me so I don't die. Or maybe I'm in a coma and, like, the people dying are like pieces of my brain slowly starving of oxygen. Which is honestly much more depressing than it should have been as an analogy, just because there's many real-world situations that are very depressing about that. Just know this, everybody. I may be depressed, but I will never, ever, Minecraft or game end myself. That being said, there is an a family history of heart attacks, strokes, or aneurysms. About 14-ish years ago, my oldest sister died of a brain aneurysm. That was... And about 7-ish years ago, my mom had 3 strokes and an aneurysm, but she fully recovered after 4 months. So yay, I was really worried. Though about a month after my mom had that, so she wasn't, recovered yet, I wound up spending 3 days in the ICU for swelling of the brain, swelling of the spine, meningitis, encephalitis. Mainly a reaction to, I guess, mono, apparently, and my body freaking the fuck out. Also, I had a spinal tap. That fucking sucked. Spinal taps suck. So... if I make enough inappropriate jokes, can you please stop being dead? And everyone's like, please stop using dark humor to cope with, your own lack of ability to feel, okay with things. You're like, oh no, Lunar D8 feels slightly sad or upset. Let's deflect with dark humor. Her tracksuit is stained with the most precious of crimson fluids. Strawberry jelly. Her eyes are closed in defeat, never to open again. I mean, let's get the smelling salts. I mean, I think all those stakes missed her arteries. I think she'll... I mean, her legs are fine. I'm sure Miss Yoshida can walk this off. Let's just get the first aid kit. And maybe a miracle. She has finished suffering. She has finished suffering. Well, she has finished suffering and her story has reached its conclusion. Now she will never teach again. She will continue to rot here, hung on this wall, until someone has the guts or decency or bravery to pick her up and move her and bury her and cremate her and help her leave this world once and for all. I am not doing that, because I will start throwing up and vomiting in the middle of doing that, because I will feel very uncomfortable with it. Other people can do that. No thank you. Miss Yoshida, or I am my teacher, is dead, and pinned to the wall like a doll, like a curtain, like a macabre piece of artwork you would find in a gallery for the wicked and disturbed. And in all this, in this tragic, poetic moment, all I can think about is how she never successfully taught me to That's kind of... She never successfully taught me to transform. That's... fuck. How she has failed me, and maybe I failed her. Maybe I was never good enough to be her student. How about this? Maybe if we learned how to transform, we could have saved her. But maybe she was never good enough to be my teacher, to be my mentor, to be anything to anyone. To be an aunt to Ray, to be a lover, a mother, a friend, a shoulder to lean on, a corpse on a wall. Wait. In this context, you're saying she wasn't even good enough to be a... This is... Do we have an illness that causes inner monologues? Pretentious ones? Because if we do, I have it too. Lunar, the real-life person. And I begin to wonder about her supposed connections to Code of Nine, and whether she was a member or a friend of a member, or a lover of a member, or a leader or a follower, a bystander or a victim. And perhaps all of that rumor. It's more accurate to say, oh, did you freeze in shock when you saw the murder victim? No, I froze in a 5-hour-long inner monologue. A soliloquy, if you will. And everyone's like, you pronounced that wrong. I don't care. Go read Shakespeare. Yes, it's a reference. The one thing's a reference to the other thing. Except that someone murdered her. Much like I've murdered everyone's sense of fucking humor with my terrible jokes. And it has to relate to Cold 9, because when I look above her, I see the writing on the wall. The 9 will be whole again. Either that or the letter Q. Where's that a G? Miss Yoshida was killed, perhaps as an example, or a punishment, or a reward. And they can only have been of the code of 9 that performed this task. For all who would write such a thing on a wall, the 9 will be whole again. God help if I ever encounter a fucking telepath. Both in game and in real life. They're gonna be like, shut it off! And I'm like, you wish you read Deadpool's mind now. The 9 will be whole again. I don't know what it means, and it hurts my head to think about anything other than the limp body of a teacher raised above the floor. Oh, so she's a little bit off the ground. Well... And the dancing shadows she is casting on the ground. You are very poetic with your descriptions of the, this. She is still there. Miss Yoshida was crucified on the wall. We're probably going to pass out. Lunar, what the heck are you doing in there? Having an existential crisis. So I peed myself. Did you find a basketball? Technically, yes. There's a whole card of them there. But hey, Miss Yoshida's here. She can help me bring it out. Just nobody come in here. Hikari vomits on the floor. You walked in the door. What? She raised a hand and then faints. Oh, I don't know if... Yeah, I have terrible reflexes. I was in the middle of my Naruto talk no jutsu, but unfortunately, I don't have the reflexes of a ninja. I have the reflexes of a dead stoned cat. She raised... I don't catch her. I'm looking at Miss Yoshida crucified on the wall. Hikari hits the ground with... Ow! Hopefully you didn't hit your head. And I know I heard it, but I don't really hear it. There are more footsteps behind me. Hikari, why are you on the ground? Oh, heavens. Lunar, what happened? Is it another murder? Miss Yoshida's just doing some stretching. It's a new form of yoga. With like very like chakra pinpointy acupuncture. I don't respond. I'll go get help. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Don't let anyone else walk in here. No one needs to see this more than they have to. I don't have much time past this. I don't look away from Miss Yoshida. Within seconds or minutes or hours, I feel a hand on my shoulder. Lunar, come with me, please. Yui, you can please make sure Hikari is okay? Yes, Miss Otsuka. Lunar, I need you to focus. Honestly, you might need to give me a Murphy drip. For anyone who's not familiar with that, the Murphy drip is technically two things. It's the idea of you treat a shock victim with a high dosage of caffeine. Now, I don't know if this really works anymore, given how much all of us basically live off of fucking Bang energy drinks and shit. Yes, I'm making joke references to a certain shark and all that, but that being said, I really don't drink much caffeine anymore. I'll still have a little bit here and there, but I was living off about 1,000 milligrams a day when I was working at that factory, which I may have to work in another factory again, which sucks. Just saying, I don't know how caffeine tolerance affects that. But anyway, Murphy Drip exists in two ways. One is the idea of using a very strong coffee, so strong the fact that you're basically, it's tar. What you do is you basically cook a pot of coffee and you basically boil it down to where it's thick, like mud, and the idea is that it would have more caffeine than what would be legally possible to be passed by the FDA in a Starbucks. The other idea is that it's I think a hypodermic needle, where you just sort of like stab caffeine into somebody. I don't know if there's specifics of it. Part of me wants to imagine it's just like you're just stabbing coffee. You just like take a syringe of coffee, but I'm pretty sure that would kill a person. But the main point is a massive dose of caffeine to... I'm just saying, maybe just... Though you also probably don't want to have a shit ton of sugar Then again, energy drinks didn't exist back when the Murphy drip thing was popular. It was usually for soldiers when they were either seeing people dying or had been shot. So I don't know how high amounts of caffeine helps with if you have a injury where you're bleeding to death. But it was a way to try to knock people out of shock. I mean, could I have a cup of coffee, I guess? I mean, I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't like coffee, and the couple times I really ever tried coffee, it was like a sweet thing from Starbucks. That was more of a dessert than it was a coffee. But at this point, I think something very strong and very bitter would be very beneficial to the metabolism in this situation. High dose caffeine, no calories, no sugar, just something with a bitter, warm taste that is earthy and somewhat pleasant, and maybe hints of the aroma of, say, Earl Grey tea. Bergamot, orange, citrus of the... I can't remember the type of... It's a certain type of citrus fruit that I can't remember what it's called. So, but yeah, focus. I can totally focus. I'm just gonna stare at your boobs, okay? I'm just gonna focus. Nope, that's not working. Why am I imagining people like dead bodies propping themselves up against the windows? It's bad when you can't use lewd or horny to distract yourself. Your mind's just too focused on the less savory aspects of life. Yeah, maybe I need that coffee. Are you okay? I think in 1,000 words I've answered no. No, I am not. Can I have a cup of coffee? I want to answer, but I just can't say anything. Miss Yoshida is crucified on the wall. Yeah, it would appear that you have stumbled across yet another murder. If I had half this luck with the lottery numbers, I would feel much more secure about my future. The third one. Yeah, you always seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, don't you? Yeah. I could probably use a cup of coffee. Also, I'm sitting, right? Because, if I pass out, you're going to catch me, right? I feel my heart sink. I think Satomi might be starting to suspect me of being responsible. I found Miss Yoshida. I was with Akari and Yui in the class just moments before. I know, Lunar. Don't worry. It's I know you're not the killer. Because I am. And you're too much of a bitch. And I'm that's true, but please, could you be nicer about it? I'm not suspecting you of this. I let my head slump. I can't believe this has happened. Again. And again. I was there to witness the scene. Again. And again. And Miss Yoshida's crucified on the wall. Again. Again. I don't blame you for feeling the way you do. Witnessing 3 murders, it must take a toll on your health. If you want to leave this academy, I would completely understand. I won't hold it against you. The 9 will be whole again. What? The wall. It was written in blood above Miss Yoshida. The 9 will be whole again. Lunar, I want to share something with you. Something not many people know. Aya Yoshida is a former member of the Cult of 9. It was with her help that I was able to identify the cult as the perpetrator in this murder case. She was a member? Then why did they kill her? Aya left the cult around 15 years ago, before the cult was thought to have been destroyed. She joined during a rebellious phase of her life, not fully understanding the activities the cult took part in. When she learned of the murders they commit and the fact that they drain their victims' magical energy, she decided to leave. Of course, the cult don't like the members. Like its members to leave, to go on and lead normal lives. They have apparently had eyes on her all these years, and just recently she started asking around about the recent murders. Someone in the cult deemed this treasonous, and it would seem they put an end to her questioning today. Aya was a good person. She never wanted to hurt anyone, which is why she left the cult in the first place. She didn't deserve to die, to be punished like this. As I burp into the microphone, ruining all the suspense. any of you feel. As for the writing on the wall, the night will be whole again. I can only assume it means the cult are officially reforming. As I'm sure you've guessed by their name, the cult only ever have 9 members at a time. So it's like the rule of 2, but it's not gonna get ruined by fucking Disney. But hey, at least, somehow Bison returned. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has come back to Steam. I hope they don't censor anything or remove anything. Perhaps they are seeking fresh blood, new members to reform their ranks. Miss Otsuka, based on what you said, I can understand why they killed Miss Yoshida, but why did they start targeting this school in the first place? Well, they seek after magical energy, and this is perhaps the easiest source of it. It's like, why do I cook chicken nuggets? Because it's easier than making a homemade meatloaf. But then again, it is fun to actually make homemade food. It just takes a little more time. And I guess I'm lazy. Did you guys when was the last time any of you guys cooked meatloaf? Or lasagna? And I don't mean like buy a box and you just throw it in the fucking oven. I mean you boil egg noodles and you add home cooked hamburger and onions and green peppers and cheese. Though honestly, I'm more of a meatloaf cooking person. When was the last time you guys cooked meatloaf? There's a lot of different recipes to it too. The only reason I can think of is because we have an abundance of students, full of magical energy. In a way, it's the perfect feeding ground for a cult that drains the power from its victims. I kind of feel like the school was founded for that reason. I feel like we're livestock being raised only to be slaughtered and eaten. Anyone remember not Teen Titans, Attack on Titan? But, yeah. It could be that the school was originally formed, so it's not like the Cult of Nine came to the school, it's that they were here from the very beginning, they founded the school. Though that's assuming this entire world isn't just a figment of imagination, I'm laying in a coma, and that there are no magical girls, and I'm just, dying. Again, if you want to leave the academy, I won't leave. All of my friends are here. Everyone here is in danger, and I won't leave them behind. Very well, I commend your courage, but get some rest, at least for today. Okay. Ray is walking by as I leave the school. Her head is down. She looks utterly defeated. Ray? Oh, Lunar. Hi, Ray. You want to get some Dairy Queen? Are you going home? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about what happened. You were the one foundered, weren't you? Yeah. I know this is very selfish of me to ask, but I need a hug. I know you possibly need a hug, or either don't want to at all, and it's selfish of me to ask. Since it's much more of an issue for you, because your aunt, but still. And yeah, I'm not going to deny that part of that's kind of lewd, I guess, because, but really it's not. It's more so just in general I need hugs and, right now extra, I don't know, affection and assurance and just physical safety. I don't know. Not feeling alone. That'd be nice. So, yeah, I understand. Selfish and inappropriate to ask. But, yeah, I think I need a hug. If you want to hug me, that's cool. If not, I'll go eat enough Dairy Queen for the both of us. Did she look like she was in pain? No, she was not. She looked peaceful, asleep. Ah, that's good. Yeah, she's in a better place now. I know that doesn't make it any better. I'll tell you this. When you're at a funeral and you have a loved one die, do you guys know how insulting it is to have a preacher say to you it's part of God's plan? That doesn't make you feel any better. It actually makes you feel angry. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, that's good. The last thing I said to her was horrible. I yelled at her. Oh. she knows that you didn't hate her or anything, okay? But I know, it's like the last thing you said to her, like, you would rather have been something. But I'm sure she knew how much you cared. So, yeah. She knew. She knew that you weren't serious about yelling. You knew that you didn't hate her, and she knows that you cared about her. But yeah, it's more reason to be more cognizant of how you are to people when they are around, because you never know what might happen. Granted, we're not usually living in a place where murders are going to be fucking happening, hopefully, but you know, you never know what medical condition or a car accident could occur. And of course, as people get older, well, I mean, all graphs, if they go long enough, eventually hit 100%. You know, depending on how you look at that hypothetical milk glass of death. Why do I want to make pink lemonade now? Everyone's like, focus! I got it. My aunt. I'll never have the chance to take back what I said. Again, she knew that you didn't hate her. She didn't. She knew. I'll say this. I can't say I knew her that well, if at all, but I at least know what I've seen with a lot of people, and that's just with average people, and both you and her at least seemed like you're very good people. And I've certainly enjoyed hanging out with you at the arcade and all that cool stuff, so heck, we played that chicken fighter game. That was fun. We laughed a bit at that. I mean, do you want to go walk on the bike trail? I mean, granted, it's going to be just mainly me failing at jogging and straining muscles and then watching an excuse of a creek go by because there's no fucking actual rivers or waterfalls around here. But it's nice to listen to the sounds of nature. And sometimes there's bunnies that pop by. They're wild bunnies, don't try to pet them. Though earlier today there was this old retired guy and he had a 6-year-old Siberian Husky. I got to pet the puppy for a bit. Such a cute doggo. So adorable. Okay, focus. But yeah, she knew you didn't mean it. I'm sure had this horrible thing not occurred, you two would have talked about it today. She was probably feeling the same way you do. She probably felt bad about the way your last conversation went. And she probably hoped, as she was fading, that you would know that how much she loves you. And that you wouldn't blame yourself. So, my offer for Dairy Queen still stands. I'll never have the chance to take back what I said. Ray leaves all of a sudden. I try to follow her, but she's fast. A natural runner. Okay. I mean, even if a copy, what would it say? How can I understand what she's going through? I mean, there's really no way we could understand her, but I mean, in general, it's... people can't understand each other, but we can try. And whether it's you being kind to someone or being hateful to someone, at the end of the day, it's always the thought that counts. I mean, there's no way we'd ever understand. And even if we did, it wouldn't make a difference. It's just the fact that she knows that we're at least there for her. You know, she's got a friend. And depending on the route we played, it might have been more. You know, this game's gonna have multiple playthroughs. That means I gotta watch people get, Doki Doki Literature Clubbed over and over. All I can do now is go home. We didn't have a conversation with our doggo about, that. I stay inside today. I lock myself in a room. I can't bring myself to eat. Miss Yoshida is still crucified on the wall. I'm pretty sure someone's got her down by now. Where is my doggo? I awakened to a text message from Noriko. Hey, I heard about what happened in your school. I'm really sorry to hear about that. I'd like to meet up with you and talk about. If you have any energy, let me know. First, I can't bring myself to look alive. Meeting up with Noriko would mean having to leave my room and having to talk about Miss Yoshida's death. I decided to ignore her message for now. I awakened today to a growling stomach. I realized I haven't eaten in 2 days. Yoshi has been managing to feed himself because I can constantly hear him chomping on food. But aside from those sounds, I haven't heard from him. He seems to sense when I'm not feeling well, but does his best to stay out of my way. I hope I don't walk out there to find that Hoshi has been dead for 2 days, and I'm just hearing, a cold of 9 eating a bowl of fucking Frosted Flakes. Or is it Captain Crunch? Which would be scarier in this situation? Lucky Charms? Tricks? Captain Crunch? No. Frosted Flakes. It's more than... Everyone's like, please, for the love of God, don't finish that. Okay, fine. I make myself some breakfast this morning. As I'm doing so, I get another text from Noriko. I never heard back from you. I'm sorry if I'm being pushy, but there's something I really need to talk to you about. I can come to you if you want. Text me your address, and I'll come over. What could she possibly need? If she just wants to comfort me about the murder, it can surely wait. But I suppose if she comes here, it saves me some trouble. I'll send her my address and sit down to eat. A short while later, the doorbell rings. Hey, I hope I'm not interrupting anything. Well, I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.